morning, good morning, good morning. It's Thursday morning. Up having coffee. I am off today, so I thought it would be a great time to share thoughts and just have a little impromptu chat. Do you guys like impromptu chats? I remember back in the day I used to do just in your car vlogs. Well, it's not so long ago. Actually, it was back in the spring, maybe summer too, that I did what I called in your car vlogs, where while I was driving I would have an epiphany or maybe something that I wanted to share. I used to carry my camera with me everywhere, so I would just be able to mount it on, in the car, because I have a camera mount in the car in the window, and I just start chatting as I'm driving. So this is one at home. So this is an impromptu little chat I wanted to just drop in. It's still 2022, and I'm about to get dressed in a few hours. I can say we storm watching because nobody really knows what's about to happen. They don't know if it's going to storm, if it's going to snow, if it's just going to be ice. I know that the wind chill is going to be crazy tonight. I think our low tonight is going to be 9. Let me drink on that. So with that being said, y'all stay warm. If you are in one of those areas where you're getting hit by this blizzard-like temperatures, be safe. But I just wanted to drop in and share my thoughts on something. I get a lot of comments. I go back in some days and I only just read comments from my videos, and I respond to the ones that need responding. I can tell sometimes when people are just dropping off thoughts, or where people are responding and probably wanting a response back. So I'll go through, and sometimes the videos are months old, and then I'll respond. And I want to share something with you guys. I think a lot of times people look at me as if I'm in one of those women that's on this feminist movement. I'm not. Let me tell you something. I think life is better with people. Life is always better with people. But we have this large demographic of women, such as I, and you may not even be as old as I am, who are living this thing alone, and you're navigating life as a single woman. So a lot of times my videos may seem to be that I'm promoting that in some sort, but I'm not. Just let's be clear. My best friend is married. She has been married for 40 years, guys. And I think it's beautiful to find someone. She met him, high school age, and they've been together. And I think it's beautiful when you can meet someone and be able to share a lifetime with them. It is absolutely one of the most beautiful things. And if you're able to weather the storms and, uphill battles and things that you go through with that partnership, that's awesome too. I do have views on certain things, because I know there are situations where sometimes you've been beaten down and broken, and then that person gets ill, and then they realize what they have, and then they love you all of a sudden. I ain't promoting that. But if there are some situations where you guys are both fighting for the survival of your relationship, I'm all in for that. I think that's beautiful. So let me just put that out there. I think that's awesome. So I'm not a feminist. I'm not promoting singlehood. Life is better with people, with a partner, if you can do it. Because, there are some pluses to being single, especially when it comes to compromising and negotiations and sharing space. And I think as we all, men and women, get older, we do become more private, and we enjoy having our own space and things in place the way we like them. And sometimes compromising can be difficult when you disagree totally and can't accept certain things. So it has pluses. There's some pluses to being single. and having space that you share alone. But let me just say that that is not what I promote on the channel. I built this channel around women because women have to deal with, I think, much more than men. We have a really big role, and we're the nurturers and the caregivers a lot of times. And even though men sometimes are labeled as the breadwinners, we do know that there's a vast, big, great majority of women who are all of those things. The breadwinner, the caregiver, the homemaker, and all of that. And sometimes it's that way even with having a man in a home. So I cater my videos to those women because they need a support system. They need to know that even when the storms are raging, that there's hope and that you can make it through. And a lot of women have gotten to the point now, especially if you're 50 and over, you probably are navigating an empty nest, or you're about to. I know some women have children a little bit later in life, so you might have children that are just now leaving home, and you're like, what now? Because your life was filled with so much, of taking care of them and being involved in what they were doing and making sure they got to the things, the activities, and whatever it is they were involved in. And then you had the homemaking aspect where you were taking care of the home, making sure everybody was fed, and cleaning the house and helping the kids with their lessons and all of that, making sure they're well when they're sick and all of that. And then you go from that to, oh my gosh, what do I do now? And I remember, because I raised my 3 children, and I also took in my oldest sister's youngest daughter after she died. She stayed with my mom for quite a while, and then she got to the point where my mother wasn't able to handle her. She felt she was just a little much for her. So I stepped in and I took that role on. So I was raising 4 children at one point in my life as a single woman, and teenagers. That was definitely a challenge. So I know and have experienced what that feels like, and how hard it can be, and the tears that you shed, from those hard times. And then one day you look up and everybody's gone. My youngest daughter is married, and you're like, what do I do with myself now? And I want women to understand that just because that phase of life has changed, ended, there is a whole big world out there, and there's things that you can involve yourself in. That's why I'm always talking about get out in the world. I know a lot of us are introverted, and as we get older, I think we become more private and homebodies. But if you want your life to thrive, you have to be willing to change some things and step outside your comfort zone and experiment with things that you've never done before. And sometimes you have to be the person who make the first move. I often get women who comment that they don't have friends, and friendships take a while to build. That's not something that happens overnight, but you can have relationships with people where you can enjoy time. A friendship is totally different than having associates and people that you can just do things with. So let me make that clear. I don't call everybody in my life a friend. I have girlfriends, associates, but few friends. But in life, if you want to experience life and you want to meet people, you have to put yourself in a position to do that. You can't be afraid to attend an event or be the first person to walk up to someone and say hello, and try to extend yourself to be involved in things in your community, whether it's through your company that you work for, if you're still working, or your neighborhood, or a community event, or if you're involved in church activities. You got to be willing to take a step. I think oftentimes a lot of us at this point in time, we're waiting for people to extend themselves to us. And I wonder why we think that's fair. Because people say, nobody, no one's my friend, no one tries to be my friend. But are you trying to be a friend? Are you reaching out to people? It is always a two-way street. I say that all the time when I hear people say, I had a girlfriend and she stopped calling me. Did you stop calling her? It is a two-way street. So you have to be willing to meet people halfway. And sometimes you might have to take all of the steps, because you never know if someone's sitting around waiting for you to reach out to them. And coming from a place where I was being a very quiet person at one point in my life, I was that person. I used to sit around and just watch, and I often felt alone. And I thought about it as I got older, and I said, Lydia, you got to be able to speak up. You got to be willing to change some things about yourself, and be willing to have people look at you or wonder about you, if you want to enjoy this thing called life. So I just wanted to share that for my sisters who are in this space right now during the holidays and may find themselves having a challenging time. You have children sometime, and all of them have their own lives, and sometimes the way we want things to be is not the way it is. And this even for women who are married. We often feel like our children should be doing certain things for us, and they have their own families. And a lot of times we can't accept the fact that they are now us when we were young, the way we were when we fell in love and we left home and decided that we wanted to share our life with this person, and nothing mattered but that person. And even though that might feel like they don't forgot you, they haven't forgotten you, they just have stepped into the next chapter of their lives, which is about the family they created. And we have to be willing to allow them to do that. We complain about our mothers who were overprotective, or our fathers who couldn't accept the person we chose and the way that they were controlling. Have you become that person? And we have to accept that. Sometimes I get in my feelings about not being celebrated enough, or my children not extending themselves to me or coming to see me. But then I have to think about when I left home and I married the love of my life when I was young, and I just wanted to explore the world with him. I love my family, but I had chosen a life, and that's where my focus was. So don't feel so alone at this time if you're spending the holidays alone, or if you spent the holidays alone. Say it both ways in case you're watching this after the holidays. Just remember that you got to get out, and you got to be willing to change your life and do something different, and accept some challenges and scary things, and explore to make your life all you want it to be. And stop waiting for people to do those things for you, and let your children live. I have not seen my son in a few years. He's over in Texas now, and I just want to put my arms around him. But I respect his space and the things that he's doing, and we chat often. But I had to realize that he has his own life, and that I gotta let him live, and I can't want him to be that little boy that I have to nurture and see after. And I have to respect that, and I have to keep going with my life, because God has given me enough physical strength and health to continue my journey and live my life. So I thought I'd share that today. So find a place for yourself in this world. Find an interest in something, and go out there and seek it. Go out there and just do it, and stop sitting in your homes and feeling sorry for yourself, and allowing the sadness and the loneliness that does happen at times in our lives take over you. So yeah, I thought I'd share that today. So I will see you guys later. Let me get up. Let me start getting dressed. I'm still in night clothes. But sometimes I feel like it's okay to just come as I am and just be candid and open and just share. So you all have a wonderful day. Be safe. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace and love.